Hello everyone, and welcome to my unboxing of this set of draft boosters for the Strixhaven set from Magic the Gathering. So we'll just have a look at all the box. Hopefully this video isn't reversed as it looks like it is in the camera. So yep. Unfortunately, I don't have a group of people to draft with, so I'm just going to open these with a good old-fashioned knife. Call that a knife? This is a knife. Anyway. Doing this, before we get into this, I will say what I do want out of this box, and that is Professor Onyx. Because I love Liliana, like, for several reasons. I mean, she's the coolest planeswalker. But yeah, I'll open it up if I can. Ooh, come on. Come on, Strixhaven. There we go. Stuff like that. See how many boosters we get in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. 36. 3 lots of 12. So what I'll do is I'll leave this to the side here and just do 12 at a time. So doing this because I got these, and I saw a ASMR video with this set in, and I didn't get what I wanted out of it, so I figured I'd do it myself. They showed off like the artwork and that, but they didn't read out the cards, which is the one thing that I actually go to videos like this for. So we've got a Quandrix Pledge Mage, so a Simic card, so green-blue. Creature, Merfolk, Druid, Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Quandrix Pledge Mage. First step towards transcending physical limitations is discarding assumptions about what is possible. So there is the card. See if I can get it to focus. No, you won't. Oh, okay. Then we got Thrilling Discovery. You gain 2 life. Then you may discard 2 cards. If you do, draw 3 cards. This must be the lost city of Xantavar, where my people lived before becoming nomads. Think of the history we'll learn here. So this is a Lorehold or Boros card. I'm going to use the Ravnica names for them because, you know, I prefer their names. Mouldering Karok, a zombie crocodile creature with trample and lifelink. Necroluminescence is common amongst the undead creatures of Sedgemoor, giving the Midnight Swamp an eerie glow. It's comforting from a distance. That looks pretty cool, actually, not gonna lie. So that's green-black. The Witherbloom Campus. Witherbloom Campus enters the battlefield tap. Tap to add black or green mana, and 4 mana and tap, you can scry 1. Mage students fascinated by the energies of life and death choose Witherbloom, the College of Essence Studies. There's the artwork in that, looks pretty cool. Crushing Disappointment. Each player loses 2 life. You draw 2 cards. Most students could barely endure Dean Ambrose's scrutiny for a semester or two. Killian lived with it his entire life. So this is black card. I mean, I think you're supposed to use that one in a Orzhov deck, but you can use it in any deck that uses black. We've got our first white card. Well, I guess we've got the white-red one there, but first white card. Defend the campus. It's an instant where you get to choose one. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until the end of turn, or destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Professor Scramble to push the Mage Hunters back, leaving the heart of Strixhaven undefended. So that's... Let me just... Not a bad card. Pigment Storm. Red card. Pigment Storm deals 5 damage to target creature. Excess damage is dealt to the creature's controller instead. When art projects collapse, Prismari students revel in the beauty of destruction. Everyone else runs for cover. So that's a Is It deck card. Bayou Groff. A plant dog. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature or pay 3. So this is definitely not a second turn card, because you can't cast it on the second turn unless you've already cast a 1 mana creature. Groffs are great for tracking pests, though the muck through the muck, but Groffs are great for tracking pests through the muck, but securing the pest before the Groff devours them is a dicey endeavour. There you go. I'm separating them out by colour, by the way, and like coloured pairs. That's why this one's got 2. Burrog Befuddler, a frog wizard with flash, so you can cast this on your opponent's turn. When Burrog Befuddler enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-0 until end of turn. Students who seek river herbs in Duradar quickly find themselves slightly damp and thoroughly surrounded. Cool. Oh, we got Prismari card. Well, the Is It card anyway, which is red-blue. Which is a sorcery, a lesson. Do I have any other? No, I don't have any other lessons yet. Create a 4/4 blue-red elemental creature token. You've made a splash. Now show me a torrent. Do I have every 5 colours? Yep, so move these 2 over here. Put the pairs ones over here. Oh yeah, I'm going to show you the art. Pretty cool card. Not gonna lie. Explosive Welcome. An instant. Explosive Welcome deals 5 damage to any target, 3 damage to any other target. Add 3 red mana. Rowan and Will were a natural fit in Prismari College, the School of Outrageous Elemental Arts. So maybe we will get their card. That's red there. Okay, this is a weird one. You need to have 1 green, 1 black, and either a green or a black, and then 1 extra mana for a Daemogoth Woe Eater. It's a demon creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. When you sacrifice Daemogoth Woe Eater, each opponent discards a card, you draw a card, and you gain 2 life. You're paying for my wisdom, you'll get no better deal. So I would cast this, and then sacrifice it at the start of the next turn. personally. I'm looking at a green-black deck at the moment. Prismari Apprentice. Human Shaman. With Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Prismari Apprentice can't be blocked this turn. If that spell has mana value of 5 or greater, place a +1/+1 counter on Prismari Apprentice. So, pretty cool art as well. No one ever created great art by playing it safe. Pardon me. So we got a Dream Strix. This is our rare. It's a flying bird illusion. When Dream Strix becomes the target of a spell, sacrifice it. When Dream Strix dies, learn. You may reveal a lesson card you own from outside the game and put it in your hand or discard the card to draw a card. It's actually a pretty cool card. Then we got one of these special art cards. Revitalize. Alright, yeah, I need to show you this one. Pretty cool. So this is a white card. It's an instant, so there's anytime you can put an instant, you gain 3 life and draw a card. We'll go there, and then we got our token, which is a pest. It's green black. Also, Commander Cube. No, wait, no, that's not Commander Cube, that's Commander or Cube. You know what, I might as well just keep the knife open. By the way, this knife I actually got from Switzerland, so it is a proper Swiss Army knife. Friday Night Magic. So, Biomathematician, which is a human wizard. When Biomathematician enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, plus a +1/+1 creature for each fractal you control. I will reach infinity. Pretty cool. Prismari Pledge Mage, which is a orc wizard with defender, so that means he can't attack, but he's got a 3/3, so it's actually pretty decent. Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Prismari Pledge Mage can attack this turn as though it didn't have defender. Oh, okay. Many have the talent to create, but few have the courage to share their creations. Well, it looks like I'm starting to build up a Prismari. And is it deck? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, I actually prefer black-red decks. It's like Rakdos. I'm not very good at the game or with those decks, but I enjoy them because I like black and I like red, just as colours. And also like the other stuff that comes with black and red, they always look cool. Anyway, Square Up. It's an instant. Target creature has base power of toughness 4 and 4 until end of turn. Sometimes the most radical thing you can do is think inside the box. Isn't that one part? Arrogant Poet. A human warlock creature. Whenever Arrogant Poet attacks, you may pay 2 life. If you do, it gains flying until the end of turn. Oh, okay. So, it is a creature, when it attacks, you can pay 2 life. It gains flying, okay. I would be kinder to my peers, Professor, but I simply don't have any. Truly is arrogant. Doesn't show off how much of a poet he is, though. I guess the wings are made of ink. Guiding Voice. It's a sorcery. Puts a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And it also has Learn. I've already talked about that. When onomancers work together, their complements are complementary. It's a single white. Not something you would use on the first turn, though, because you wouldn't have a creature at that point. But still a useful card to have. Fuming Effigy, which is a spirit. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, Fuming Effigy deals 1 damage to each opponent. Some spirits share ancient wisdom, others just get mad you touch their stuff. Okay, I am that kind of spirit that gets mad when you touch their stuff. I'll also share ancient wisdom though, so I'm a bit of both. Leyline Invocation. Sorcery. Create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X 1/1/1 counters on it, where X is the number of lands you control. Ah, okay. It's the first time I've seen a card that has X, which is a number that's outside of the control of the actual card. Do you still believe my work is nothing but dry, boring equations? So it would start off as a 6/6 at least if you played this the first time you can play it, because it's a 5+ a green. It's a Simic card anyway. Is this a... Okay. It's just a weird instrument. Resculpt. It's an instant. Exile target artifact or creature its controller creates a 4/4 blue-red elemental creature token. Critics were struck first by the elemental's surprising grace and then by its fists. So you'd probably prefer to use that on your own stuff that's small, unless you want to take down something that's larger than 4/4. Anyway, here's the one that I was talking about being possibly a 2-sided, but it's not. Introduction to Annihilation, which is an artifact card sort of thing. It's colourless anyway. Sorcery Lesson. Exile target non-land permanent. Its controller draws a card. I've never seen a student fail quite so spectacularly. There's potential in that. I'll set that to one side as the auto include in literally every deck. Emergent Sequence. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. That land becomes a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature that's still a land. Place a +1/+1 counter on it for each land you had enter the battlefield under your control this turn. So, I guess 2. So you would play the land. If you manage to get your land drop, then you'd play the land, then you'd probably play this and you'd have a 2/2. Not too bad. Especially for turn 2. And you'd end up with 3 land as well. Tenured Inkcaster. The Vampire Warlock. When Tenured Inkcaster enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Okay, that is a decent card. I would argue, it ought to include in any black deck. Because black has a lot of stuff that gives each other +1/+1 counters. Another future Archmage for my collection. Well, there's another one of those weird cards where you've got a choice of either white or red on one card rather than all three. So, returned past caller. It's a spirit cleric. Has flying. When returned past caller enters the battlefield, return target spirit, instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, that's actually pretty good. All hold spirit statues are not forbidden from raising statues of their own. This is a double-sided card. So this is Augmented Pugilist, which is a troll druid with trample. As long as you control 8 or more lands, Augmented Pugilist gets +5/+5. Hold still. I have a theory about what's going to happen to your face. Meanwhile, on the back, we have Echoing Equation. Choose target creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of it until end of turn, except those creatures aren't legendary if the chosen creature is legendary. Any good experiment is repeatable. I'm going to put that with this one because it's green and blue. Then we have a special art card, and we've got a foil as well. Oh, we've got the elemental. Alright, so Adventurous Impulse, special art card. It's a sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards in your library. You may reveal a creature or land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Her quest began as all quests do, with one small step in an unexpected direction. Special art cards are pretty cool. And then here's the hollow, the foil. Tome Shredder, which is a wolf creature. Has haste, so he can attack the first turn it lands. And you can tap to exile an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard and put a +1/+1 counter on Tome Shredder. So that's pretty good. And then the elemental, the red-blue elemental. I'll go with my other tokens. Now it's a different way around to everything else, so maybe I've got a decent card. Oh no. I didn't get a decent card. So I've got one of these, which is, you can use this card to represent a double face card. Okay. I'll stick that next to the tokens. So we got the Letter of Acceptance. You can tap to add 1 mana of any colour, or 2 mana and then tap the sacrifice, and then you sacrifice the Letter of Acceptance. You can draw a card. I don't know. Having 1 mana of any colour is more useful. It costs 3 mana to get it. The Letter Unfolded, inviting the twins to Strixhaven. Will saw a chance for arcane study. Rowan saw the chance for power. It's an auto include anyway. Eureka Moment. It's an instant. Draw 2 cards. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. At first the equations were simply numbers, but in those numbers I saw a story, and in that story I saw a pattern, and suddenly it all fit together. Can you get there? Did I remember to show you guys the Letter of Acceptance? I don't remember, so there's that. I swear there's one more score that I'm missing. Yeah, I'm missing the silver core stuff so far. I haven't got any silver core. I wonder if... I've got a rare. Did get 2 auto-include cards on this though. I mean, I've got cards related to Silver Core. I don't have any actual Silver Core cards. Also, so Stonebound Mentor. It's a Spirit Advisor. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, scry 1. Quintorius beamed, his mind eager to absorb every historical fact that Spirit wanted to divulge. Not a bad card. Scry is always fun. Promising Dusk Mage. It's a human warlock. When Promising Dusk Mage dies, if it had a +1/+1 counter on it, draw a card. Your technique is sloppy, but there is talent there. Do it again and keep your right arm in position this time. Combat Professor. Bird Cleric. With flying. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains vigilance until end of turn. Before Uvis was cut down at Practical Peak, she performed which maneuver? Anyone from the reading? It's actually a pretty decent card. You can give anything vigilance. So if you put that on like a pretty big creature, then people aren't going to be happy. First day of class. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it gains haste until end of turn. And it has learn. So, pretty nice. Mage Duel. This spell costs 2 less if you've cast another instant or sorcery spell this turn. Target creature you control gets +1/+2 until end of turn. Then it fights target creature you don't control. Each deals damage equal to its power to the other. Remember the rules, no spells to the face. It's actually a pretty decent green card. Pop quiz. Draw a card and you can learn. Today is Hydromancy. I thought it was Aplomancy. I studied for Aplomancy. I mean, drawing cards is always decent. Novice Dissector. Creature. Troll the Warlock. Sacrifice another creature, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, activate only as a sorcery. The professor said the professor said to first extract the venom glands, then the acid sac. Next up, the weeping organ. I do like me some black cards, and that actually looks like a fun card. So it's 1 sacrifice another creature, but activate only as a sorcery, so you can only do it on your turn. Expanded Anatomy. It's a lesson. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. It gains vigilance until end of turn. Changing the equation from incremental to exponential was a stroke of genius on my part. 3 mana. Pretty decent. So, Team Pennant. It's artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has vigilance and trample. Equip creature token 1 or equip 3. So to put it on a token it's only 1, but to equip it to a normal creature is 3 mana. Also include Team Pennant. Quintorus, Field Historian, legendary creature, Elephant Cleric. Spirits you control get +1/+0. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. Every life has a story to tell. I won't let them be forgotten. One of the main characters from the set, although his story isn't related to the main story of the set. Deadly Brew! Sorcery. Each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. If you sacrifice a permanent this way, you may return another permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. No one ever asked what was in Tina's concoctions, so long as they worked. Pretty cool. Cody, Vociferous Codex. A legendary artifact creature. Construct. You can't cast permanent spells. 4 plus tap this, add 1 of every colour. When you cast your next spell this turn, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile an instant or sorcery card with lesser mana value until end of turn. You may cast this card without paying its mana cost. Put each other card exiled this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay. That's weird. I mean, it's going on that part of auto-include because it's manaless. Well, I say manaless. It needs 3 random mana, but I don't think I'd ever actually use it. Special black magic card. Duress. It's a sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Magic brought peace to the vast lands, but it was soon corrupted. Pretty nice art. It goes on that pile. This is another one of these cards, so we don't need to look at that. Needlethorn Drake. It's just a drake with flying and death touch, which is pretty cool. As they learn to fly, young drakes have a tendency to accidentally impale trees, cliffs, and unsuspecting students. It's a 1/1 for 2. So it's not that great, but it's pretty cool. Just gonna take a sip. Cogwork Archivist. Artifact creature construct. Reach, so it can defend against flying creatures. 2 mana and tap. Put target creature from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner library. It's the largest library in the multiverse, so of course it has the largest librarians. So another auto-include because it's an artifact. A colourless mana card, that is. Spiteful Squad. Hey, we've got the first of the Orzhov cards in this deck. Oh, in this pack. It's a human warlock with death touch, so anything it hits. Oh, it's a 0/0 card to begin with. It starts with 2 +1/+1 counters. So it's got death touch. Spiteful Squad enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. When Spiteful Squad dies, put its counters on target creature you control. So you can't split it, but you can put it's all of the counters it has on it. So if you like stack this up, you can make something even more powerful. Do you know first years pay a toll to walk through here? That goes in this space here. Prismari Canvas does the same thing as the other campus, except it adds blue or red. Mage students who see spellcraft as the highest form of expression choose Prismari, the College of Elemental Arts. Beaming Defiance. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains hexproof until end of turn. It can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. I've lived too long in my father's shadow. It's time to find my own light. Okay. Pretty nice for a white card. Another Pigment Storm, so we've already read that and what that does. Pretty decent that we've got 2 of them now. Might end up making one of the red decks. I've got 2 of those. That's pretty cool. Leyline Invocation, we've already seen that, so put that there. Serpentine Curve. It's a sorcery. Create a 0/0 green-blue fractal creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is 1 plus the total number of instants and sorcery cards you own in exile and in your graveyard. Oh, so it's exiled and graveyard. So you'll want to play this quite late in the game if you want to build a massive creature. Well, we've already seen Promising Dusk Mage, so I can get there. Spirit Summoning. Say Lords of or Boros card. Create a 3/2 red-white spirit creature token. Books are fantastic, but if you're really curious about the distant past, why not ask someone who was there? That is actually a good point. If you can, ask people who are there. They're probably more interesting to talk to about it. Mentor's Guidance. No. When you cast a spell, copy it. If you control a planeswalker, cleric, druid, shaman, warlock, or wizard, scry 1, then draw a card. So it's only if. So it's only once, no matter how many of those you actually control. But yeah, scrying, always fun. Hey, Mage Hunter. Which kind of looks like a Phyrexian. It's a horror though. Whenever an opponent casts or copies an instant or sorcery spell, they lose 1 life. One of the Oryx's most powerful tools is the Mage Hunter, a vile monstrosity creature. Vile monstrosity created to seek out and snuff out the arcane. They sound like dicks. Ruther, Mercurial Artist. Another legendary creature, the Orc Shaman. So for 2 mana and you return this card to its hand, to the owner's hand. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Art is never finished, merely abandoned. Okay. That is a pretty cool piece of artwork there. An Auric Law Mage. It's a human warlock. Search your library for a card, put it into your graveyard, then shuffle. If it is an instant or sorcery card, put a +1/+1 counter on Auric Law Mage. That's just tapping this before combat. Nothing can quell the Auric's thirst for forbidden secrets of the past. And then we've got a special art card for green again. Corrosive Grip. It's an instant, so a split second. As long as the spell is on the stack, players can't cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. On a world where time was torn asunder, destruction ruled the minds of all. Multiversal meta histories. The fact that there's a book about multiversal meta histories in Magic the Gathering is kind of scary. I also pre-ordered the Strixhaven book for D&D, mostly for my campaign that I'm going to run now that I've done some DMing. I'm doing a Magic the Gathering campaign, or at least one that's set in Magic the Gathering lore. Accelerating Elocution. Put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Other creature you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. His words poured forth on waves of golden light, scouring all fear from his audience's hearts and minds. So, pretty cool. Starting to build up that black-white. Relic Sloth. It's a creature beast. It's got vigilance and it's got menace, or as Loading Ready Run called it, menace. This creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. When it comes to transporting priceless, delicate artifacts, safety is more important than speed. That's why they all choose a sloth. A Biblioplex Assistant. It's a artifact creature, which is a gargoyle, has flying. When Biblioplex Assistant enters the battlefield, put up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library. I appreciate the help, and honestly, it's very entertaining. Instant include a flying creature. Like, even if it's 4/2/1, you can also put 1 target instant or sorcery card on top of your library. We've already seen Defend the Campus. Twin Skull Shaman. It's a dwarf shaman with double strike. May your wretched name never grace the annals of history, you ignorant buffoon. Bit harsh, not gonna lie. Our red's looking pretty good, not gonna lie, as well. Field Trip. So, sorcery. Search your library for a basic forest card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. And it's got Learn. Did I show you the Twin Skull Shaman? I might have forgotten to. So just show you that. Pretty cool artwork again. Curate. An instant. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put any number of them back into your graveyard. Put any of them into your graveyard and the rest back on top of your library in any order. Draw a card. Cathoran War Chants Volume 3? That doesn't even belong in this wing. Okay, that's I don't know where you put any of your cards into your graveyard unless it's got a cheaper cost to bring it back from the graveyard. Or you're using that spell that allows you to put stuff from the graveyard into your hand, or back on top of your thing. Unwilling Ingredient. It's a frog with menace. And for 2 and a black, and you exile the card, you draw a card, and you lose 1 life. Yeah. Don't look at me like that. It was either this or being eaten by a groth. Introduction to Prophecy. Scry 2, then draw a card. Final grades are posted on the first day of class. that would make sense for prophecy. Reflective Golem. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only Reflective Golem, you may pay 2. If you do, copy that spell and you may choose new targets for the copy. We don't cut through Sedgemoor anymore. Can't get 5 steps without a Groth trying to fight its own reflection. Never auto include. 3 for a 2/3. Not that bad. Ingenious Inspiration. Sorcery. Ingenious Inspiration deals 3 damage to any target and has Learn. Prismari fosters a burning need to create. Pretty nice card. Not gonna lie. Well, that does have 2 sides. So we got a human druid, the Witherbloom Apprentice. Didn't we already have a Witherbloom Apprentice there? I'm pretty sure that was the first, one of the first cards we had. No, we didn't. Either that or I put it in the wrong place. But yeah, it's a human druid with Rangecraft again, so this time, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So that's the art. Double-sided card. So we got Wandering Archaic. Whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, they may pay 2. If they don't, you may copy that spell and you may choose new targets for the copy. And Explore the Vastlands. It's a sorcery. Each player looks at the top 5 cards of their library, reveals a land card or an instant or sorcery card from among them and puts the card they revealed this way into their hand and the rest on the bottom of their library in a random order. Each player gains 3 life. So you can get 2 out of the 3 cards. No, not 2 out of the 3 cards. 2 out of the 5 cards into your hand. And the rest goes to the bottom of the library and you gain 3 life. But so does everyone else. Might only use this for the Wandering Archaic. So yeah, there's the Wandering Archaic, and there's the other side. Oh, I have 2 special arts ones, and one of them is a foil. So we've got Strategic Planning, which is 1 of the blue. It's a sorcery. Look at the top of 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. I can offer only information, young one. What path you choose is up to you. So that's pretty cool art. But both of them, surprisingly, are blue. And I got a counter spell. So blue looks pretty good now. Counter target spell. One need not know the specific details of a spell to suppress its effect. Simply rearrange the rules of reality within which the spell operates. Okay. For 2 blue. An instant. Stop your friends from being dicks. Then an advert for Arena and Arena. It's literally 2 adverts for Arena. Hoping for more tokens, to be honest, rather than just adverts. There we go. Yay, you got another token. And I have a foil as well, but not the one that I want. Okay. Let's just separate these out a bit more. So, Mouldering Carrack we've already seen. Blood Researcher. It's a vampire druid with Menace. Whenever you gain life, plus a +1/+1 counter on Blood Researcher. Dean Valentin warns us not to consume the samples for our safety, but I think he's just being greedy. It's 2/2 for 3. Wait, menace there. That's pretty cool. The Lorehold campus does the same as the other campuses, but it adds red or white. Many students obsessed with secrets of the past choose Lorehold, the College of Archaeomancy. So magic to do with archaeology. Study break. Tap up to 2 target creatures and learn. You've been cramming all night. You're taking a nap whether you like it or not. So, could be good for when you want to stop someone from... Oh, we've already seen that one, so... I'll deal with that later. Already seen Tome Shredder. Reckless Amplemancer. So it's an Elf Druid, and for 4 and a green, double Reckless Amplemancer's power and toughness until end of turn. So it starts off as a 2/2. If you put any +1/+1 counters on it, then you get to double those as well, I'm guessing. So linear growth, what am I? A first year? Clearly. Vortex Runner. It's a human wizard. As long as you control 8 or more lands, Vortex Runner gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked. By using the Vortex, I can study for at least 15 extra minutes between every class. I wasn't being reckless, Dean Ibrahim. I was being efficient. Okay. Pretty good. Essence Infusion. So sorcery plus put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. It gains lifelink until the end of turn. I'd say it's still a fair fight. Now with my friends about the size of your ego. That's actually pretty nice. Introduction to Annihilation we've already seen. Mascot Interception. It's a sorcery. This spell costs 3 less if it targets a creature token. Gain control of a target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains +2/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. Far from the trappings of royalty, Rowan and Will found inspiration from the most popular sport on campus, Mage Tower. Expressive Iteration. It's a sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, put one of them onto the bottom of your library, exile one of them. You may play this exiled card this turn. Okay. Prismari students dance in the tension between passion and perfection. Closing statement. This spell costs 2 less to cast during your end step. Destroy target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. In conclusion, I guess that's actually pretty nice. Daemagoth Titan. It's a demon creature. Did we have one of these already? I know we had a Daemagoth something, but I don't think it was the Titan. No, that was the Wereweater. So the Titan, whenever the Daemagoth Titan attacks or blocks, sacrifice a creature. If course it offered you power. Demons always do, but trust me, the sweeter the prize, the more ruinous the price. Oh, Professor Onyx, the card that I actually want. It's 11 of 10 for only 4 mana. Yeah, you have to sacrifice a creature every time it attacks or blocks, but Jesus Christ, that's actually pretty good value. I'll be going for green black. Okay, another special art. Magic card. Pardon me. Use. Gain control of target creature with mana value of 3 or less until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. Will they have a copy of Tales of Fae here? Want me to read you a bedtime story? Seems to be a lot of cards about Will and Rowan. Not a lot about Professor Onyx. And here's our foil. It's a land. Archway Commons enters the battlefield tapped. When Archway Commons enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you pay 1. And then you can add 1 mana of any colour. Is it just 1 mana of any colour, or is it... I guess you can decide what colour. I don't think a lot of people know that I have that knife. It's a pretty nice knife. He says, already seen that, that's the elemental token. That's rare. So, elemental masterpiece, have we already had that? No, we've had elemental something. So, elemental masterpiece. So you create 2, which I have now, 4 blue and red elemental creature tokens, and for 2 and discard this. You create a treasure token. It's an artifact with tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any colour. Ruther, passed with flying, living colours. There you go. Biomathematician we've already seen. Square up we've already seen. Star Pupil. Star Pupil enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies, put its counters on the target creature you control. Got another one of these cards. When I'm done here, they'll name entire buildings after me. No, they won't. I hate people like that. Blood Age General. A spirit warrior. And when you tap it, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. What's the point in doing that? You can't use tapped creatures to defend. There's absolutely no point in that. Unless you have a card that allows you to untap tapped creatures. That's just useless. But yeah, his troops took the fortress Khadun centuries ago. Yeah, he fights on. But it's a 2 card for a 2/2. Well, a useless ability, but it's a 2/2. It's fine. Crap. Sorry about that. I put the TV on pause and then realised, hey, it's going to start again, isn't it? And then I paused it again and it started again. Anyway, Professor of Zoomancy. It's a bear druid. When Professor of Zoomancy enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. She's brilliant. If a bit overbearing. What a pun. Arcane Subtraction. Have we had that already? This looks like a card that we've already had, but I might be wrong. apparently not, but we have a lot more blue cards than I realised. Well then, target creature gets -4/-0 until end of turn, and it has learn. Class learned little that day. I swear we had that already there. Lash of Malice. Target creature gets +2/-2 until end of turn. The strongest shadow spells come from disdain for someone else, not frustration with yourself. Eager First Year. Creature, human wizard. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Eager First Year gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Today she learns the basics. She'll knock out Advanced Theory later this week. I mean, that's more of someone I actually like. Ooh. Green or blue, 2 of. And X. Create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it. Fractals are just pseudo-dimensional manifestations of asynchronous biosymmetries. It's really quite simple. Okay, that made no sense to me. Brackish Trudge. A fungus beast. So it enters the battlefield tapped, and for 1 and a black, you return it from your graveyard to your hand. Activate only if you gained life this turn. Most trudges are covered with decaying plant workers, making them ideal breeding grounds for fungal spores. Disgusting. Quandrix Apprentice. So, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, look at the top 3 cards in your library. You may reveal a land card from among them and put that card into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. The Secrets of our World will be mine. And this seems like a kind of boring card, but okay. Oh, Speed Boots, Zephyr Boots. So it's an artifact equipment. Equipped creature has flying. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card, and it costs 2 to equip it. Blux Vexing Pest. Legendary creature, pest. Other pests, bats, insects, snakes, and spiders you control gets +1/+1. When Blux Vexing Pest dies, you gain 4 life. Pests are typically harvested before they outgrow their enclosures. Blex is far from typical. That's a mythic rare as well. Oh, I got a mythic rare, yay! Oh, and it's got a sorcery in the back. Black sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards in your library. You may put any number of them into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. You lose 3 life for each card you put into your hand that way. So that goes down there, not where I thought it was. Then Weather the Storm. I think this is actually something we've already seen. You gain 3 life. No, wait, it isn't one we've already seen. Because we never had anything with Storm before. So you gain 3 life, and when you cast a spell, copy of each spell cast before it this turn. Nice. Save this for when you're dealing with some fucker with a blue deck and loads of mana, and they just go do all of these spells, and you just go, ah yes, but you see, one in the green, and you gain back like 15, 20, 21 fucking life. Dude would be livid. Livid, I say. What I'll do is I'll do 1, 2, 3. I'll do the rest of these 5, and then I'll do another video with me opening some more. Later. just see what the token is. Past we've already got. Nice. So, first card is a Lawhold or Boros card. Say, make your mark. So, either a red or a white. Target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. When that creature dies, this turn, create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. Those who do learn from history may still choose to repeat it. Okay, that's pretty cool. Silver Quill Pledge Mage. It's a vampire cleric. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Silver Quill Pledge Mage gains your choice of flying or lifelink until end of turn. I avoid violence. This is the last resort of the witless, but if you insist, I'll make an exception for you. Actually, not a bad card. Got another Archway Commons, this time not shiny. Dragon's Approach. Dragon's Approach deals 3 damage to each opponent. You may exile Dragon's Approach 4 cards named at Dragon's Approach from your graveyard. If you do, search your library for a dragon creature card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So you can have 5 of these in your deck? Didn't think that was allowed. A deck can have any number of cards named Dragon's Approach. Jesus. That's pretty fucking good. Too bad I don't know any dragons yet, but, well, I probably do somewhere else, but. A Spined Carrock. I don't think we've got those. We've got Mouldering ones, haven't we? Yeah. Also, this is just a straight green one. So it's a crocodile creature. The bogs are deeper than you realise. Most of the space beneath the surface is taken up by these enormous carrocks. You might think your feet are touching the bottom. They're probably not. Okay, pretty cool. We've already seen Curate. Spectre of the Fens. It's a spectre creature, flying, and for 5 in the black. Target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Foul spectres hunt down those who try to back out of a deal with a Demogoth. Is that... I mean, yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Never. Combat Professor. Yeah, never make a deal with that demon, otherwise that shit happens. Mascot Exhibition. Create a 2/1 white and black Inkling creature token with flying, and a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token, and a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. Don't just win the game, win the crowd. Detention Vortex. Enchantment Aura. Enchant non-land permanent. Enchanted permanent can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. And for 3, destroy Detention Vortex. Only your opponents may activate this ability, only as a sorcery. Oh, that's actually... it's a more fair bloody passivism. I fucking hate passivism. At least that will allow you to... allows the person who owns it to destroy it, even if it means that it's fucking... It doesn't have flash though, so you could only play it on your turn anyway. In passivism, I think you can play as an instant. It's an absolute cunt. Overgrown Arch. So it's a plant wall. It's got defender, so it can't attack. And you tap it, you gain 1 life. Nice. You can sacrifice it with 2 extra, and you can learn. Not a bad card. Killian, Ink Duelist. Legendary creature, human warlock. Lifelink, Menache. And spells that cast you cast that target a creature cost 2 less to cast. Nice. When your father's Dean Ember is second best really isn't an option. Accomplished Alchemist. It's an elf druid. Had 1 mana of any colour. Had X mana of any 1 colour, where X is the amount of life you gained this turn. Tincture of Mercury and Lizard Feet. Symbol. One that doesn't like the taste of Mercury and Lizard Feet. I'm working on it. Cultivate. I think we've already got this one. I'll read it out anyway. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Reveal those cards. Put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand and shuffle. You'd be amazed at how much a single plant has to teach you. And then a shiny rare. Gnarled Professor. Creature. Treefolk Druid. Trample. When Gnarled Professor enters the battlefield, learn. Classes in season. Oh, green is looking bloody amazing. I've got way too much green. But we haven't got any, not that many repeats. Which I mean, cool and all, but I'm trying to make a deck out of this somewhere. So we've already seen Eureka Moment. Owlin's Shield Mage. It's a bird warlock with flying. And ward, pay 3 life whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it, unless that player pays 3 life. That's actually a really good ward. I've seen other wards that, you know, just, oh, they have to pay extra mana. This is 3 life. That actually makes it so basically no one will ever fucking use this spell on it. Aim higher next time. Wait, yes, that's the Elemental Masterpiece. We've already seen. Prismari Campus, I believe we've already seen as well. Yes, we have. Is this different artwork to that one? No, it isn't. Okay. Just looks weird. Enthusiastic Study. Instant. Target creature gets 3/3/1 and gains trample until end of turn. And you can learn. If the pen is mightier than the sword, then just think what a giant tome could do. Okay. Biograph, that's one we've already seen. Burying Books. The spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets an attacking creature. Put target creature into its own library, second from the top. There are no weapons allowed in the biblioplex. The clever mage is never truly defenseless. Maybe I should teach wizards that in D&D. Leech Fanatic. It's a human warlock. As long as it's your turn, Leech Fanatic has lifelink. Everyone thinks that leeches maintain a strictly sanguineous diet, but in fact, most freshwater leeches are carnivores. Wait, where are you going? Okay, yeah. I have a feeling we're going to go green-black with this, because we're not really getting much else. We've already seen Star People. Environmental Sciences. Say a lesson. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hands, and shuffle, and you gain 2 life. First year is to quickly learn how the vast lands earned its name. Okay, cool. Necrotic Fumes. It's another lesson. This is a black one. Has an additional cost to cast this spell. Exile the creature you control. Exile target creature or planeswalker. When live specimens aren't readily available, Witherbloom mages make creative use of ragged spirits clinging to long dead bodies. It's a bit harsh. Tend the Pests. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. Create X plus X 1/1 black green pest creature tokens when this creature dies you gain 1 life, where X is the sacrifice creature's power. So that's that side. I've got a special treat for you today. Bizzle. Devouring Tendrils. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. When the permanent you don't control dies, this turn you gain 2 life. Witherbloom spells often take on the appearance and personality of their components. Okay. So this is the mathematics one. Kyan, Dean of Substance, legendary creature, elf druid. Tap it and exile the top card in your library. If it's land, put it into your hand, otherwise put a study counter on it. 4 and a green, create a green and blue fractal creature token, put a +1/+1 counter on it for each different mana value among non-land cards you own in exile with study counters on them. And on the other side you've got Abraham, Dean of Theory. So this was Kian, Dean of Substance. Dean of Theory. He's a bird wizard. Bird wizards are awesome. And flying, and for X and 2 blue and tap. Exile the top X cards of your library and put a study counter on each of them. Then you may put a card you own in exile with study counter on it into your hand. Okay. Eliminate. Oh yeah, we got another one of these cards by the way. So, as an instant, you can destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value of 3 or less. It takes so little energy to erase a person, it's almost like the universe doesn't care that they existed at all. Bit harsh. I mean, probably true, but bit harsh. Three more packs for this video. Oh hey, new token creature. You know what, I'll show you that to you first. It's a fractal, something we've been talking about for ages and it seems to always come up, but we haven't picked one up yet, until now. Oh, we do have a rare. Some cards in here we've already seen. So we've got Campus Guide, which is a golem creature. When Campus Guide enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, then shuffle and put the card on top. There's nowhere in Strixhaven I can't find. Where do you need to go? It's actually a pretty cool card. Also include in every deck. Thrilling Discovery, we've already seen. I believe so. I think that was the first card. Yes, it was. Cogware Artivist, we've already seen. Heated Debate. This spell can't be countered. This includes by the ward ability. Heated Debate deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. While you were wasting time with abstract equations, I mastered ancient Ogier fire magic. Your move. Artwork. Big Play. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains reach until end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. This is an instant, by the way. Quandrix is running out of time. If they're going to capture the Witherbloom mascot, they need something big here. card. It's a pretty decent green card. Already seen the Borrowed Befuddler. We've already seen Novice Dissector. Pilgrim of the Ages. Hey, it's got a spirit. When Pilgrim of the Ages enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic plains card, reveal it, and put it in your hand and shuffle. And for 6, you can return it from your graveyard to your hand. So you go straight to your hand rather than to the battlefield, so then you still have to pay another 3 to play it, but you know. Elemental Summoning we've already seen. Ardent Dust Speaker. It's a Minotaur Shaman. Whenever Ardent Dust Speaker attacks, you may put an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. If you do, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. The Founder Dragons weren't even hatched when this scroll was written. Okay. They hatched at the start of the plane, but you know. Sure. Whatever. Oh, Secret Rendezvous. You and target opponent each draw 3 cards. Strixhaven's 5 colleges encourage natural rivalries among the students, but some bonds transcend all barriers. That's fair. So we got Access Tunnel, so you tap it to add generic mana, and for 3 and then tap it, target creature of power 3 or less can't be blocked this turn. Auric Agent sticks to dark corners of Arcavius, unseen yet ever present. Auto include because it's just a land with generic mana, which is always good. Retriever Phoenix. So this is a rare Phoenix creature with flying and haste. When Retriever Phoenix enters the battlefield, if you cast it, learn. And as long as Retriever Phoenix is in your graveyard, if you would learn, you may instead return Retriever Phoenix to the battlefield. Okay, I get what that's for. And that's a really good card. So red's looking really good now. Got a lot of red, we got a lot of green, and we got a lot of black. Could I make... I could make a Jund deck. Anyway. Unfortunately for that, we don't have any red, green, or red, black cards in this set. Oh well. Divine Gambit. It's a sorcery. Exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment an opponent controls. That player may put a permanent card from their hand onto the battlefield. Evil is to be unshackled, not slain. Unlock your foe and release the miracle within. Okay, that's actually not a bad card. And Test of Talents. It's a foil. Counter creature. Counter target instant or sorcery spell. Search its controller's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name as that spell and exile them. That player shuffles, then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. Wow. Oh god, that's actually... You search their library as well. You take away every single version of that card. Yikes. There's the... You see the holographic. Yeah, that's nasty. That's a nasty thing to do to someone. You get to see their deck. Like, admittedly, you're only looking for a certain card. And how many of them do they have? let's say that you've got Dragon's Approach, and you're let's say that you're playing against someone who's using Dragon's Approach, and they have a lot of Dragon's Approaches. You're going to cause them some real problems. You're going to look at all their deck. Alright, we've got 2 more packs to do for this video. So Needleform Drake, we've already seen. Infuse with Vitality. It's an instant. Until end of turn, target creature gains Death Touch, and when this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control, and you gain 2 life. Dino raised her cup to Killian's lip, and for the first time in his life, he knew compassion. Nice. Witherbloom Campus, I think we've already had. Let me just check. Yeah, it was the second Witherbloom card we ever got. Dragon's Approach we've already seen. Field Trip we've already seen. Resculpt we've already seen. Unwilling Ingredient we've already seen. Pillar Drop Rescuer. It's a Spirit Cleric. Flying, when Pillar Drop Rescuer enters the battlefield, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Gentle Hands of Stone Whisks. The Careless from the Crumbling Ruins or Pillar Drop. Okay, not bad. White card. Fractal Summoning. I think we've already had that as well, haven't we? Quite recently as well. Yes, we have. We've already seen that. Go Blank. It's a sorcery. Target player discards 2 cards, then exiles all cards from that player's graveyard. Yikes. Another nasty thing to do to someone. Dueling Coach. When Dueling Coach enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And for 4 and a white and tap, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Oh, that's fucking great. Just keep tapping up. Got a Lorehold Apprentice. So we haven't had a Lorehold Apprentice yet, have we? We've only had, I think, a Prismari Apprentice. Or did we have a Lorehold Apprentice? We had an Apprentice for someone else though. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell until the end of this turn, spirit creatures you control gain tap. This creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Ah, that's actually pretty damn nasty. Ancient footfalls echo in her head, a timeless rhythm guiding the present. Pretty nice. Shadow Snarl. The Shine Shadow Snarl enters the battlefield. You may reveal a Plains or Swamp card from your hand. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. And it taps for white or black. Pretty nice. A Flickering Beacon of Righteous Corruption. Okay. Agonizing Remorse. Wait about it, we've got an Elemental. So target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it, or a card from their graveyard, and exile that card, and you lose 1 life. Guilt is not absolution, regret is not justice, but it is right that you suffer. One at the back. And then we got a shiny Bayou Gruff. Just about to see the shine in it. Last pack. Gotta love this knife. Gotta love the Swiss. I do want to go back to Switzerland. Another one of these. Excavated wall. Artifact creature. Wall with defender. And 1+ tap, you mill a card. Top of your card. So milling, put the top card of your library into your graveyard. Don't be fooled by the quiet. These old stones are trying to talk to you. I mean, for a 4 defense wall with, well, 4 toughness wall with only 1 mana, that's basically your first card you ever play. Thrilling Discovery we've already got. Witherbloom, Pledge Mage. Was it? Do we have one of these? It was a Witherbloom Apprentice I was thinking about earlier. No, we don't have one of these. So, Witherbloom, Pledge Mage, Creature, Treefolk, Warlock. Whenever you cast a copy instant a sorcery spell, you gain 1 life. Death is really just a transfer of energy. Those pests I harvested have the honor of becoming pure magic. What could be more beautiful? Almost put that in the wrong place. Prismari Campus we've already seen, so I'm thinking maybe red blue. Pillar Drop Warden we haven't seen yet. So it's a Spirit Dwarf with Reach, sacrifice Pillar Drop Warden, 2 tap and sacrifice. Return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Activates only as a sorcery. A giant statue of a dwarf is still a giant statue. And yeah, that's why it's explaining why it's got reach. Tangle Trap. Choose 1. Tangle Trap deals 5 damage to target creature with flying, or destroy target artifact. It's like that old saying, what goes up feeds the arboretum. Okay, that's a pretty cool fucking thing to say. Hey, it's Reject. The card that video was the only one to be shown off like 15 times. Apparently this is really common. So, instant, counter target creature or planeswalker spell unless its controller plays 3. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it in its owner's graveyard. Grux, for the last time, you have to do more than simply shout apply at the administrators. Spectral Defense we've already seen. Expel. Exile target tapped creature. Quintorus was a daydreamer, far happier digging through history books than practicing battle tactics. He agreed with the military academy on one thing: he did not belong in their ranks. To be fair, if you know that you don't belong somewhere, it's best to leave. So, there's that. Spirit Summoning. A lesson. Create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. Books of fantastic. I've already read this one out. God damn it. Symmetry Sage. It's a human wizard with flying, magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, target creature you control has base power 2 until the end of turn. By my calculations, I should be able to achieve true enlightenment for graduation. Buddhist. Umbral Duke. It's an instant where you choose 1, target player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, or you create a 2/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. I mean, I guess it depends on what part of the game you're at. If it's like early on, you probably want the inkling, but if it's later on, then you probably want to sacrifice a creature or a planeswalker. Do you get to choose? It doesn't say. It says target player sacrifices, so they have to sacrifice, but you don't get to choose. I'll have to look that up. The sport of Mage Tower was conceived as a playful testing ground for young spellcasters. Professor of Symbology, a core cleric. When the professor of Symbology enters the battlefield, you learn. Language isn't dead until we stop learning from it. Okay. This 3 green and 3 blue for sorcery. Body of research. Create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of cards in your library. Needle Deep has promised that his final project would be his biggest one yet. So, let's say. So this takes at least 6 turns to cast. So you start off with 7 cards in your hand, and you draw 1 for every turn. So and as long as you're not casting spells that make you draw cards, the maximum toughness of that would be this is from like a Highlander or Commander deck. That would be 86, 87. No wonder it's mythic rare. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good indeed. I mean, you probably wouldn't get something that strong, but you might be able to. Anyway, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof until ends of turn. This is Snakeskin Veil. Never reject the kindness of a serpent. It will not be offered twice. So yeah, so that's all of the cards from the packs that I was opening today. I will open the next ones some other time. I've got things to do, and this is already like almost an hour and 3/4 long. So I'll just collect up all my cards. So I've got my tokens, my advertisements and shit right at the top. Then I'll put the class ones after those ones. And then just do it like this. So yeah, I will see you next time that I decide to open these, which will probably be later on tonight. I've still got to edit and post this video. But yeah, this is a taste of Strixhaven. School of Magic. Or School of Mages, anyway. Pardon me. And I will see you next time when we open another 12 or maybe the last 24 packs in this draft booster box. I kind of wish I had someone to draft with, but then they might have taken all of the good cards. No, I wouldn't have been happy. Well, I say I wouldn't be happy. I would have found that hilarious, but I also would have lost my shit if someone else got Professor Onyx. No shit, man. I want Liliana, and I don't mean that in the sexual way. Yeah. That's it for today. I will, well, probably not for today, but that's it for this video. I will see you later.